A Carja Gale were Mila Falchuk apart Kivnahan, Louis Leonard and Shaw Aaron Donacht and Cliha Creva Shaw Instant Creva Shaw Sir Idger Ahalone Common Heber McMahon August Derrylin Connell. Ladies and gentlemen, you're very welcome to our broadcast today, coming to you live on Fermanagh GAA TV from Louis Leonard Memorial Park here in Donagh for this Peter Carty Junior Football Championship game between Brookeborough and Derrylin. Joining me on commentary today is Rémi Johnson. Rémi, you're welcome to today's broadcast.
Thank you very much.
And looking forward to the second of our junior games this weekend. We had a victory for your own club, Newtown, yesterday, so you'll be keeping an eye on the victors of this one here, I'm sure.
There'll be a few people that will be contacting me to get a bit of inside information on them.
No doubt. So looking at this game between Brookeborough and Derrylin, these are two clubs who have been in and around the junior championship for the last couple of years. Derrylin a couple of years ago did win the junior championship and went on to play a couple of games in Ulster, but since that they've dropped back down. You'd probably say they have a bit more experience, as Brookeborough are a team who are dealing with maybe shortages of numbers, and I'm sure every time they get a couple of players, people go off to university or they emigrate. It's hard for some of those rural clubs to keep teams out in the fields.
Yes, with a lot of clubs it's a numbers game, and if teams are struggling to get numbers and that, then it can be hard to sort of get a consistency and wins under the belt. But if Brookeborough are competitive against Derrylin, Championship football is a different ball game compared to league, so obviously Derrylin I'd say would be going in as favourites today, but if Brookeborough can be competitive and stick with them and get close to them, then you never just know.
That's right. Well, we're just looking, as we look on our screens, to see referee Carol Bradshaw. He has taken the toss and the teams have taken up, they're starting to get into their positions and get into their final huddles, so that gives us a chance to run through the teams ever so quickly. On the Brookeborough side, they line out number 1 Joe Corcoran, a full back line of Sean Ray, Liam Ray, Dermot Toy, half back line Michael Rice, Cahill Mohan and James McQuaid. In the middle of the field it's Patrick Woods and Oisin Howell. Half forward line of James Toy, Aidan Boyle and Damien Corn, with a full forward line of Adam Brown, Conor Goodwin and Rory Green. It's fair to say, Rémi, there could be changes, so we're going to have to keep our eyes out on that before throwing.
The tradition is now the teams sort of chop and change, sort of play a few main games with the opposition beforehand.
Well, as long as they all wear the numbers they're supposed to wear, that's I'd be happy enough with that. Derrylin, on the other hand, starting with Owen Murphy in goals, Declan McGovern, Declan Curry and Eamon Gunn in a full back line. Half back line, Luke Flanagan, Louis Leonard, Daniel Leonard. In the middle of the field it's James Dolan and Owen Maguire. Half forward line, Donald McAvinue, Rory McGoldrick and James Boyle, with a full forward line of Barry Murray, Fergal McGovern and Connell McMahon's. So as you can see, Derrylin have taken their positions. As we look at this, they're going to be playing from my left to my right. They're defending that the goals down at the dugouts, and they're going to be attacking into the upper end here, so that's going to leave Brookeborough playing from right to left. Referee Carl Bradshaw, he's been assisted today. Ollie McShea is there and James Lewis is on the line for today's game. To explain the junior championship, the winners of this game will play Newtown Butler, who won their qualifier game yesterday. Then the winners of that game will go on straight into the junior football championship final. The losers of today's game will play Co in a qualifier game, and the winners of that game will play the defeating semi-finalist in the second semi-final, and that will complete our junior championship final. Word about the conditions, Rémi. There's not a breath of wind. It's cool but dry.
It's dry. There's a bit of a skift of a shower on that, which would sort of maybe make the ground and grass just that wee bit greasy and that. But I'd say it's a great day for football. It's dry, wee bit of slippiness there, but there's no wind that's sort of really favouring any team. So it's all up for grabs, and the two teams go at it now in a few minutes.
So here we go. The referee Carl Bradshaw is just looking around, making his final checks. I'm just checking some of the changes that have been made, and he throws the ball up and it's underway in this junior game, and that's been picked up by a bit of a battle going on there in midfield. It's been picked up by the Derrylin midfielder, who's Owen Maguire. I think he wins the first free of the game, and now it's in the hands of James Dolan, who's going to take this right-footed shot into an early change. As number 17 Jake Smith is coming on. He's taking the first shot, gives that plenty of air, don't think it's going to curl back in, and that goes to the right and wide for the first wide of the game, inside 20 seconds. So Derrylin breaking hard from that first tackle, or from that first attack, Rémi, but the execution was slightly off.
Yes, I suppose teams are just starting to find their feet earlier on in the game, so we get get the first touch and that. And it was just it was a poor shot in the end from a wide position.
Yeah, I'd say Young Smith would have maybe liked an easier one to get his confidence settled down, but that's the way of it. Kick out from goalkeeper Joe Corcoran's going long into midfield, and now that ball has been won by Derrylin. They're on the attack again. It's Donald McAvenue moving forward. He's taking a solo. He's going to take a shot that's looking good from far, and now it's a left-footed shot just on the edge of the gone over the bar. The first score of the game goes to Derrylin. Remy, 2 attacks, 1 score.
Yeah, it was the Doherty breaking ball. Derrylin won in the middle, the attack through the centre and got it into the scoring zone in around the D area, and Donald McAvenue stroked it over nicely.
Breaking ball Derrylin in the initial, we've only a minute and a half played, but they're starting to build up a bit of momentum in and around midfield. I think that was a push in the back. That definitely was Oisin Howell who got edged out of it from Luke Flanagan. So referee Carol Bradshaw blows that as for a free for Brookeborough, and here they're on the attack as Oisin Howell bouncing the ball in and around. He's got into the Derrylin half the field. He's given it to his centre half back colleague who is Cathal Moan, and that's a right footed kick ball into the full forward in there. I think that's Connor Goodwin. He's hustling hard in there now. It's come back to the centre half forward. He's Aidan Boyle. That shot's going in, probably going to go short, and goalkeeper Owen Murphy wins that. He's given it now to his midfield colleague who is Owen Maguire, and Derrylin are onto the break here now. I see Brookeborough starting to recede into their own half, so Derrylin are breaking on this stand side of the field. That ball fisted over to centre half back Louis Leonard. He had James Dolan in support, but doesn't give it to him now. Kicked over to the far side. That's a good spraying ball to the corner, to the wing half back, who is Luke Flanagan. Seems to have a bit of a licence to Ronan. He's going up, give that to that early change, who is number 17 Jake Smith over there. So Brookeborough have gone quite defensive. The momentum, they've killed some of the Derrylin momentum, Remy.
They have. They've started to get numbers back. Obviously, they see as a few of the inside forwards of Derrylin being a bit of a threat, so they want to try and nullify. Just to see that. That's
a right foot shot from full forward Fergal McGovern. That looked good, but it didn't come back in, and it tailed wide at the end. So the scoreline remains Derrylin 1 point, Brookeborough no score. Goalkeeper Joe Corcoran setting this up here. He seems to have gone long with a couple of his kicks. Brookeborough have.
Yeah, he's starting to hit the big man sort of out in the middle of the field from him. So.
Well, this is a 50-50 ball here between the corner forward, who's Adam Brown, and Brown, that ball's gone out over the lane. Couldn't get the ball up on the ground. That was then Daniel Leonard who was able to usher Adam Brown over the lane, and that's a sideline ball which Derrylin are on the move. As the cornerback Declan McGovern ships the challenge from Cathal Moan, and he spins around to give a right-footed ball. That's a good ball into space into the full forward line. Wing half back Michael Race fighting hard for that with full forward, who is Fergal McGovern, and Fergal McGovern gets it away, and now it's back to McGovern here, tries to sell a dummy, turning back to his left foot. That's not going to suit. Now it's to Daniel Leonard, and the corner forward Conal McManus. It's broken back out to the 45 metre line, and we have Donald McAvenue going forward. He got the first score, left footed kick, and that's gone wide again. Brookeborough putting a lot of pressure on Derrylin. They're having much time to continue their attacks.
Getting plenty of numbers back, and they're putting on the pressure. Derrylin showing patience there, trying to work the ball into the scoring zone, and Donald took a second shot, but unfortunately for him it just drifted wide.
So we'll have a player down receiving a bit of treatment. I think that is the centre half back, who's Cathal Moan. He seems to maybe have an knee injury. He could have got a loose finger or an elbow, so I see the treatment's going on for him anyway. Referee Carol Bradshaw is keeping his eye on that there. Initial reactions to the game, Remy, it's Brookeborough are not doing that well on the breaking ball. Derrylin sort of have an upper hand. There's 3 or 4 kickouts that have come. I know we're less than 5 minutes in, but
yeah, Derrylin seem to be sort of controlling the middle sector, winning that break ball, winning cleaner ball. Brookeborough getting numbers back, but in saying that, when you get numbers back, you have to be there doing something. They seem to be allowing Derrylin time on the ball to be able to move it freely without putting them under any real pressure.
Great kick out from Joe Corcoran. I think that might have been a push in the back. Adam Brown and Daniel Leonard, they're having a bit of a tussle between the two of them. That's a couple of balls that have gone in.
Yeah, Brookeborough keeper is looking to hit at him with this long ball.
He's getting great length in his kick out. That's coming nearly to the 65 to the Derrylin 45.
You can see in today's game that the keeper plays such a vital role, particularly in kick-outs and setting the play up.
Wonderful ball in there from James Dolan. That was on the left foot with a chance of goal breaking forward. That was a punching tackle from the full-back Liam Ray, putting an end to that. And that was the Derrylin player. He was definitely away only for that challenge, Ray.
He was, the full-back read it very well. He seen the danger that was coming there. Obviously, the Derrylin player didn't see him coming. He just got caught blindsided, and
the leg of that would be nuts till a monkey for a full back. He'd love to line someone up and hit him with the shoulder. He hit him fair. There's no point in denying it.
No, it was a fair shoulder charge. There's no malice in it.
No, that's Declan McGovern who was down there, but he's back up again. And the fairer you hit someone, they might be winded, but they'll get back up again. No one gets injured in that there. So Declan McGovern, combination of that challenge and maybe the corner back being into a goal scoring opportunity, but he's back to his feet anyway. Kick out here now, and it's that was Damien Corn who was moving forward. He went into the challenge of the midfielder who's Owen Maguire, got a bit of a belt, but he's back up again, and now it's over to the centre half, or the wing half back, who's James McQuaid. Brookeborough with a chance to break here. That's cornerback Dermot Toy who's moving forward. He's given it to Adam Brown, who has been involved with quite a bit of what Brookeborough have been doing so far. He's looking for support. He's got support on that far side. Gives a 50-50 ball to that. He was looking to find the cornerback, who's Sean Ray. I think Adam Brown had a player over on that far side. If he had passed it to him,
he did. He sort of panicked a wee bit. He sort of seen the run going inside, where he's been better maybe to retain possession and use the support that was closer to him.
Free out, that was over carried from Derrylin, so good pressure from the Brookeborough forwards has engineered a free for them, which has been taken short. It's the centre half back Cahill Moan, gives it to the cornerback colleague, who I think is Sean Ray, and that shot is going in, but it's going to go wide. That's Brookeborough's first foray really into the Derrylin attack, and that ball ended up going wide, but at this stage Brookeborough just maybe need a score to settle themselves down.
I think a score or two would just get them settled into the game, and they'll find a bit more confidence in their play.
And there we have Adam Brown again going in for that ball, bouncing off the chest, but the Brookeborough players are fighting hard, and I think that was centre half forward Aidan Boyle winning his free left-footed shot over to that far side, trying to find James Toy. 2v1 here, so Toy's got plenty to do, tries to tap the ball down to himself, and I think that was well done by the wing half back, who's Luke Flanagan. He spun around and was able to chip that ball back to his colleague from the full back line. We wouldn't encourage all defenders to do it, Ramy, but when it works out,
it does be good for the team, but when it doesn't work out, that's when you can be you might get that shout
on YouTube for the like of that. Conal McMahon's was in there, that ball spin down, and now it's been picked up by Jake Smith, who gives a one bounce in front of his full forward, I think, who is Fergal McGovern. McGovern under pressure gets his pass away, and Derrylin are moving around the periphery here. So this is Jake Smith, who has come on, and he's going in there. There's a wall of Brookeborough over there that's left players on the far side of the field. Good open ball, player coming off the shoulder, which is well delivered, and now they're getting inside definite pull back, so referee Carl Bradshaw playing advantage. No advantage accruing. That was a well done attack, because the ball was kicked over. I think it was from midfielder James Brown, or James Dolan. One bounce in front of the corner forward, who was able to quickly through the hands past that to a player who was coming off at speed. Very hard to defend that.
It is. Derrylin showed great patience there. The ball was walked into one corner, brought it back out the field, and walked it into the space. And when you have a man coming off the shoulder, he can break the tackle. And it was a wee pull on the jersey. It seemed to be Carl, and he awarded the free in.
Yeah, it was one of those ones you had nothing to lose, because if you got on ahead and got your score, well and good. If not, the referee was playing advantage.
He was.
It's been once they brought bringing in the advantage rule was a great movement forward for the GAA.
It is, because it gives the players an opportunity to play on, and particularly if a goal opportunity arises, instead of blowing him up for a foul, if he wins or gets the goal, then it's beneficial for his team.
from that free that went over the bar, which has brought the scoreline. Derrylin 2 points. Kick out now was won by wing half back Danny Leonard, who's got his hands on the right bit of ball in this first half. Fits it over to the corner back to Declan McGovern, and Declan McGovern, he had a goal chance earlier on, but he stayed up there in the forward line, and that was a great point on the right foot over the bar. The scoreline now reads Derrylin 3 points, Brookeborough no score, with 10.5 minutes played. I think at this stage Jimmy, Brookeborough could do with a score.
They could do with a score to settle themselves down. Again, it was the breaking ball in the middle of the field that
is this tussle between Danny Leonard and Adam Brown here? This has been an interesting battle between those two.
The keeper has tried to target at him a few times, but Danny seems to be coming out on top in this battle, and if he's not winning it clean, he's breaking it, and the Derrylin boys are sweeping up the breaks.
Derrylin on the attack from the far side. Goalkeeper Joe Corkin went to that far side this time, but Derrylin have won that ball. Now it's back to their midfielder James Dolan, who's going to hit this with the right foot, one bouncing for that straight into the hand of Fergal McGovern. Calls his mark straight away, and he has a chance to hit this on his right foot. I would say it's midway between the 21 and the 45 metre line. Sets himself up, kicks that ball nicely over the bar. 4 points to no score. First attacking mark we have seen in this game, Ramey, and Fergal McGovern was out in front of the defender. So problems maybe for Brookeborough in the back line.
It's not only problems in the back line, there's problems further out the field as well. They're getting numbers back and that, but they're not putting any pressure to the man on playing the ball in, and he's getting an easy pass in, forwards making the run, and if it's very hard for defenders to defend if they're getting quality ball into the forwards.
What do you think of the advance mark or the forwards mark?
I think it's a good rule to have in, because forwards
as a defender you're saying that, Ramey?
It's easy for the forwards now, but as a defender, you're relying on a lot of pressure and that sort of give you a helping hand. But if the space and that is inside for the forwards, obviously teams now are getting numbers back and trying to cut out that space. So any advantage to the forwards in today's game is beneficial. I
think part of some of the games that we've seen yesterday and over the weekend, there's been a new sort of movement you find in the GE now. Is a lot of pressure has been put onto players in and around midfield. It's what they aim to do. It's very hard to defend against that mark. If a forward gets the run of a defender, unless a defender is lightning pace, but what teams are looking to do is pressurise the kick pass in, and that's where they're trying to put pressure on their opposing team.
Yes, it's the middle sector, in terms of winning clean ball and working hard in that to try and nullify the delivery of good quality ball into the forwards. And any good team that has good kick passes of the ball will deliver that quality ball in, so long as the forwards inside are making the space. But as you said, if you've got a defender that, unless he's got exceptional pace or reads the situation very, very well, and it reads it early, then the forward always has that wee bit of an advantage.
That was Liam Ray was down getting a bit of attention there, and that ball has been kicked out. Again, it's that battle between Daniel Leonard and Adam Brown. Adam Brown broke it down, but Derrylin were in to pick up the breaking ball. Now it's their centre half forward, Rory McGoldrick, who has been surrounded by Brookeborough players. And referee Carol Bradshaw rules that they were putting illegal pressure on Rory McGoldrick. Bit harsh, I thought, because the Brookeborough players had kept their distance, I had thought, Ramey.
Yeah, they got numbers back there. They got two men around the man on the ball, but sometimes it just takes that wee slight foul, just sort of a bit of rashness in the tackle.
There's a fine margin in those things.
Fine margin. You sort of can commit like a half foul where you sort of leave the hand in and then take it out quickly, and the referee he's just about to blow the whistle and then doesn't. But obviously in that situation he just left the hand in that wee bit longer.
That kick the free was from Fergal McGovern, the full forward, who put that ball in, but that ball ended up going wide, so the scoreline remains 4 points to no score. Breaking ball won by Brookeborough in the midfield. Now it's James McCready's bombing forward, gives it to his colleague from the centre half back line, Cahill Moan. That's an intricate pass as it's coming out to Aidan Boyle, who fakes the shot, gives it back to a centre half back, Cahill Moan, and that's Cahill Moan gives that plenty of height, and that's gone over the bar. The first score of the game for Brookeborough, and that's brought a bit of life to the crowd here now, because the Brookeborough supporters are getting behind their team, Ramey, even with the reduced numbers that can attend the games.
Yes, it was a much better walk score. They won the break ball and they went with numbers. See, they just won a clean ball again here in the middle of the field. So if they can start dominating around the middle of the field, then should be able to put Derrylin backs and that under a wee bit more pressure.
Turns the Brookeborough now have a chance to turn the screw in Derrylin a wee bit. I often find that if you can get a score, winning the kick out, it really starts to build momentum for a team here now, and that's been kicked by the corner back, who is Sean Ray. That did not go to his teammate, and Derrylin have snuffed that out. It's the centre half, it's the wing half forward, Donald McAvinny, who has that now. It's over here to Danny Leonard, who's been involved with a lot of the play. He's going to kick that ball forward. I think it's going to Conal McMahon's, and McMahon's, I thought he was calling for a mark. I think Carl Bradshaw even blew for it, but he decided to play on.
He decided to play on. That's the option of the mark. You can either play on or you can take the mark.
Ball going forward here. Crunching tackle. That's Adam Brown, who was hit hard by Louis Leonard, and that was I don't think it's going to be anything more than a free, but it was certain. Maybe it is. I see Carl Bradshaw's pulling out it happened right in front of us anyway, Remy.
Adam was completely open there when he went to play the ball. He probably seen the challenge that was coming, and he knew that he was going to get a free if he was challenged, but obviously Lou went in there just a wee bit hard, so Kjar's going to take the...
Did he give me? I don't think
he maybe just noticed the number.
The old tick. Business, so he's warned for again. That was Louis Leonard on that tackle on Adam Brown. I would think Adam Brown needs to have his word. I think the pass maybe come from, not sure where the pass come from, but it was one of those ones. He was in between Adam Brown and another player, and it gives
it didn't really favour Adam, or to give the advantage more so to the defender.
Now we have the cornerback Eamon Gunn, who wins that free, and it's over now to midfielder Owen Murphy. Derrylin are playing it through the hands. They're trying to get out here, and it's back to Eamon Gunn. It's like a game of pressure squares in that 21 metre line now. Derrylin are starting to break out, and it's with Louis Leonard spins around, kicking the ball over to the far side of the field, and it gives an opportunity for the teams to open up. And it's Danny Leonard again over on that far side of the field, fists it to his he's got it. He was running for that back again as Jake Smith, number 17, and he passes it over to his colleague. Can't see the number, he might spin around here now, but it's Danny Lennon, has it again on the stand side of the field. Brookeborough with a red and black wall, really, Remy. It was indeed, it was James Boyle who kicks that ball in. It's gone in high, broken down, and Brookeborough are able to win the. I think that's James McQuaid who's winning that, and he's coming walking out. Oisin Boyle back to McQuaid. Brookeborough are very good keeping the ball through hands. It's like a three-man weave going up the field, Remy.
It is, yes. I suppose you got that many numbers back that if they looked up, all the scene was there was maybe about 4 or 5 Derrylin boys sitting in between midfield on their own 45.
Yeah.
So they hadn't any outlet there, so they maybe need to look at that maybe sort of at the interval break or the water break to see whether they can get more numbers sort of sitting in their forward line to give them more structure.
That's right, the delivery to the forward line really let them down there. Before that they had to maybe just carry it that wee bit further, because with all those players from Derrylin or from Brookeborough who had sunk back into their own half, it left a couple of sweepers for Derrylin. However, you live and learn in these things, Remy. The scoreline remains 4 points to 1 with Derrylin on the attack, and away they go. It's Conal McMahon's inside his 13 metre line. He goes to ground. Referee Carl Bradshaw says play away. He spoons that ball out, but it's gone over the line, and see Dermot Love over there has blown that for a sideline. Referee Carl Bradshaw has blown it up. I think it wasn't taken from the right position. He's going to throw it up. No, he's going to talk to you.
So he's blowing for the water break.
Mystery solved. So with 18, just approaching 19 minutes played in this first half, that's the end of the first quarter. It is Derrylin 4 points, Brookeborough 1. Derrylin, fair to say, have played most of the football. Brookeborough are just hanging in. You can't be on top all the time, so Brookeborough probably going to have to target this second quarter, put a bit of pressure and play a bit of football. They haven't really got a chance to open up.
No, Derrylin have dominated sort of the first 15 minute spell. Brookeborough got sort of the last score of that first 15 minutes. If Brookeborough can tag on another couple of scores, put the pressure on Derrylin a wee bit more to sort of settle into the game now. To stop sort of the attack that Derrylin are setting up. They're getting numbers back, putting them under pressure, but again they need to have a few more players further up the field as an outlet whenever they do break and to get them turned over.
If you were the Derrylin management, you would be saying to your players, to try to contain their momentum and maybe use the possession a wee bit better. They've had a couple of attacks but have been broken down from the Brookeborough defence, so Derrylin, maybe it's the coordination as they're moving forward we wouldn't say let them down, but they haven't been efficient enough for the number of attacks that they've had and the amount of possession.
They were more efficient in the first opening maybe 5-6 minutes where they were going down the centre of the defence, but maybe Brookeborough's learned that that's where the threat net was coming, so they got numbers back and closed out that area, but again they need to have more numbers further up the field.
James McQuaid taking that sideline, and it's very tight over there for Brookeborough, but Cahillmone's looking to break out. He's won a free from referee Carl Bradshaw, and Ollie McShasty's in there to mark out where that free is going to be taken from. I think that's midfielder Roisin Howell, who gives it to full back Liam Ray. He's gone through like a tree in there. He's got into the Derrylin half of the field, going to deliver the ball, and he delivers the ball. He was been fouled, and it's free back there for Liam Ray. Referee Carl Bradshaw was playing advantage, but the dispossession or the use of possession, that was given straight to the Derrylin sweeper.
Yes, obviously I don't know whether he knew that he had the advantage or not, but again it was a poor kick pass in. There wasn't maybe enough movement inside by the Brookeborough forwards, but the quality of ball has to be a lot better on the Brookeborough side.
Midfielder Patrick Woods is hassling hard in there. Now it's back to Cahillmone, the centre half back. Jersey was pulled, don't see any advantage, but Brookeborough have the ball anyway. That's James McQuaid giving it to James Toy, and James Toy is going to line one up on the right foot. That's going to land in and around the square, and goalkeeper Owen Murphy parries that out. It's now Adam Brown who's going to pick that up, and that is a free for Adam Brown. Instances like that there, Ramy, when a player is going down to pick up the ball and you make any contact, it's going to be a free all day long. It's a lack of discipline or a lack of self-control.
Yes, it was a soft free to concede. The man was going down to pick up the ball. In that instance, you just say for letting the man pick up the ball and then start to tackle him and push him out and not deny him the space and that, but it's a very soft free to give away.
Yeah, and that free has been converted from Conor Goodwin. We sometimes put that down to a championship game. Players are revved up, and when they see a man, they just want to hit them or tackle them anyway. That's Paddy Woods going up for that ball, come off the foot, I think, of James Dolan, and it's going to be a Brookeborough ball. It's a Brookeborough ball, so bit of confusion here now. So Adam Brown.
It's a Brookeborough ball. It came off the Derrylin foot.
Yeah, I think James Lewis kind of put his flag a bit more vertical than acute. Yes. They could have done with it, but anyway, that confusion has been resolved, and now it's Roisin Howell over there on that far side of the field, gives it to Conor Goodwin, and Conor Goodwin spinning around there, left footed back to James Toy. Had a shot earlier on, dropped short, going to go to centre half back. Cahillmone gives that plenty of air heading in there, but it's going to go wide, I think, and the scoreline remains 4 points to 2. 22 and a half minutes played in the first half, 23 minutes played indeed in the first half, so scoreline remains 4 points to 2, and goalkeeper Owen Murphy here coming with a kick out. It's 2v1 in there, and the two of Derrylin get that is Donald McAvinue, who caught that ball, won his mark just on the midfield mark. He's looking for support. He has to turn back to his own nearly 45 metre line, because that's Eamon Gunn who's offering an outlet for him, and Louis Leonard is there as well, and that's going along the half back line, because it was Luke Flanagan back to Leonard, has found a gap of space, and he's going through trying to deliver the ball in there. It's one of those diagonal balls. Full forward Fergal McGovern going to pick that up. He spins away from the challenge. He had a chance to shoot, but he tried to go through the gap, gives it to it's now in the hands of Jake Smith on the left foot, going to kick that. I think that's going to go over the bar, and that's another point for Derrylin. I thought Fergal McGovern, he was going to, he was about to take a shot, a space opened up and he went to go through it, but I thought he'd lost it.
Yes, the Brookeborough boys got back their numbers, and it was wise by Fergal there, because he seen that the shot wasn't on, it was going to be blocked down, so he played it out to a man in a better position, and then Jake took a good score off his left foot.
24 minutes played in this first half, and that's goalkeeper Joe Corcoran. You're getting great height from his kickouts, great distance as well, and that was Adam Brown. He was fighting for that. A couple of balls have bounced off Adam Brown's, kind of bounced out of his possession. If he could just get his hands on it to to control it a bit better. I'd say the confidence is bound to be struggling a wee bit after a couple of those instances.
Yes, obviously he took that big heavy hit by Louis earlier just before the water break, but it seems to be a strategy by the Brookeborough management that they're looking to hit at him on them kickouts.
Yeah, well he's tall and he's got long arms in him as well, so the ball isn't sticking to him. Part of that, it can be confidence is more than anything else. If he could just get a couple of handy possessions, as they talk about.
Or if he was able to make one good clean catch, get his confidence up there, and there probably would be a bit more success of that.
There could be no stopping him.
Yep.
He's calling for it again here, so that's the main thing. It's good to see. I don't think the players were outside the exclusion zone, and referee Carol Bradshaw is going in. I think it's going to be a throw up on the 21-metre line. Some of the Brookeborough players hadn't got out of
quick enough. You see, keepers now, they always have a second ball ready and they try to get the game restarted as quick as possible. And particularly if you've got a keeper that's got a good long kick out, they look to hit that space early over the midfield. It's
one of those ones where it's when your own players is inside the exclusion zone. It's bound to be goalkeepers are known for barking orders, but I'm sure Joe Corcoran's going to have a word with his defenders to get outside that exclusion zone a wee bit quicker to allow him, especially as you said, Remy, with the length of the kick out that he is getting.
Yes, he needs to maybe shout them orders a wee bit earlier and let his defenders know. There's good pressure there by Derrylin players to get the turnover.
They have got the turnover. I think that might have been touched on the ground, and it's going to be a free for Derrylin about 5 metres inside the 45. I think that is full forward Fergal McGovern who's coming out to take this, going to take it on the right foot out of the hands. Where do you stand on the out of the hands off the ground?
I suppose both of them. If you
get it over the bar.
Well, if you're confident in your own ability and your technique and that, and obviously
that's gone wide.
Maybe it's just outside his range, in closer range. He might have been able to put it over the bar, but further out the field by putting the ball down, you get a bit more time to settle yourself and compose yourself just to get a good quality strike on the ball.
Scoreline remains 5 points Derrylin, 2 points for Brookeborough. Look at check at the clock, 27 minutes played in this first half. Joe Corcoran going long again, that's going to bounce, and Adam Brown again. He really has been one of the main Brookeborough outlets there. The ball kind of bounced off his chest again, but Brookeborough were able to get that up, so we'll chalk that down as a possession for Adam Brown.
Yes, it's an area that Brookeborough seem to be focusing on is Adam, and his maybe ball in the middle, so he is getting his hands on the ball, maybe not securing possession initially, but he is maybe making a nuisance of himself.
From that challenge, Oisin Howell had that ball about 21 metres out, and a kind of a slicing shot, but he got it over the bar, so that's a score for the Brookeborough midfielder. Oisin Howell. Scoreline now reads 5 points to 3. Kick out. It was Donald McAvinny got his hands on it, and he's got it back to Luke Flanagan, the wing half back, and now it's over there to their wing half forward, who is James Boyle. Boyle under pressure from Sean Ray, and Sean Ray now has he dispossessed him, and the loose ball has been picked up by James Dolan in midfield, flicks it over to his colleague on the wing half forward line, who's James Boyle again, and Sean Ray is in hassling and harrying there again, so good to see that pressure in and around midfield.
Yeah, it is a bit more pressure, just not allowing the easy quality ball into the Derrylin forward line, and as a result of that, Brookeborough's got a turnover.
Yeah, 2 bounces there, and it's been given as a free for Brookeborough. That free, it was kicked too high, and Rory Green wasn't able to get his hands on that ball, so it bounced over, or it went over his head, and now Derrylin have turned it over. It's something that the management, when you win a free, to give away a possession like that there, it's
it can impact sort of players, and that can get frustrated, particularly after they've worked so hard to get the possession back. But the quality of ball we've seen throughout this first half by Brookeborough players at times has been poor. Not taking a look up, they're kicking it to the sweeper that's been sitting in front of the full forward line, or else the quality of ball in it's a 50-50 ball or 60-40 ball in favour of the defenders.
Some of the disposal of possession as well, they haven't been giving their players a chance, and I think that's the main thing, is when you have possessions hard enough to win, but because the Brookeborough defenders are hassling hard. That was well picked up by Fergal McGovern, who gives it to Conall McMahon on the right foot. That ball's gone over the bar. Double scores here Rosie in 28.5 minutes played. 6 points to 3 to Derrylin. So the full forward line of Fergal McGovern and Conal McMahon's, they're clicking rightly in there.
Them two players have sort of they've been the pick of the Derrylin forwards at the minute.
Well, they're the main focus of it anyway.
They're working hard off the ball to create that space, and they're winning the ball when it's going in. It is sticking. They are winning the first time ball, and they're able to work off each other to get scores.
Kick out again was into this battle between Daniel Leonard and Adam Brown. They have it was James McQuaid, who a combination of James McQuaid and Paddy Woods, who put pressure on the Derrylin players, and that's a turnover for Brookeborough. So Adam Brown with that there gives it to Oisin Howell, and Howell in a bit of a dogfight with Luke Flanagan. I think Oisin Howell was kind of trying to push Luke Flanagan back there, and he's made contact with him. So referee Carol Bradshaw's pulled that back over. Don't think there was any malice in.
No, I think he was just trying to free his arm, and his arm just connected up high there with Luke's face. So I don't think there was any malice of that in that.
Yeah, referee Carl Bradshaw seems to be. Well, if he's his book out, so at the minute, if you think he's going to book anyone, it looks like he's going to book Luke Flanagan, but maybe he's not going to book anyone at all. We'll wait and see. Those can be wicked enough shots when you get that into your face. It can hit your eye, disrupt your vision.
It can just knock you off guard just for a few seconds.
So there we go. We'll have Luke Flanagan's back up again, and the free will be taken by centre half back Cahill Moan. Looking for options here. That's full forward Conor Goodwin, who gives an option, breaks off him, and James Ty picks that up. He's going for it. A bit of chance, bit of space to run into. Going to take a right footed shot. That's going to bounce in there. Going to land in there and round the goal. That's going over the bar on the scoreline there. Read 6 points Derrylin, 4 points to Brookeborough. Good point from James Ty.
It was, the quality again. The ball initially wasn't, but James was in the right position to pick up the break, and then he drove forward into space and took a good score off his right foot.
Conor Goodwin coming out there, the ball kind of bounced off his chest but bounced straight into the hands of James Ty. He was given an outlet in there, and he's a good ball winner.
He is. He's a big, strong, robust player. If they he can be a nuisance to any fullback and any defender. So if
high challenge in there. That's midfielder Owen Murphy, I think, who spun around Paddy Woods. So that's going to be a free in for Brookeborough, more than likely a yellow card, I would think, for Owen Maguire over there. The referee Carl Bradshaw's consulting his linesman over there, who is Ollie McShea. So bit of note taken to be done.
I don't think there's going to be anything more than a yellow card. It was just a bit clumsy. He needs to move his body a wee bit quicker in terms of Cahill driving through the centre there. So that was nothing more than a yellow card.
Aidan Boyle taking this. That's the first yellow card. 32 minutes played on the clock, and it's over there to James McQuaid. So we're approaching first half injury time, and McQuaid is breaking through. Got through a gap there. Gap starting to close because he's running out of options. He's gone to ground, and 4 Derrylin players is around him. You have to get possession away in those instances, Ramy, because you might look like you're running into a gap, but it can become a dead end very quick.
Yeah, and you need to get your head up early. With the support there, you need to be able to give the pass that wee bit quicker. Obviously James ran down a blind alley there and got turned over by running into 2 or 3 Derrylin defenders.
And with that, referee Carol Bradshaw blows the half-time whistle. So at half-time our scoreline is 6 points to 4. At half-time, Remy, who do you think will be the happier of the two teams?
I think Derrylin will be happier. They played the better football throughout that half overall, but Brookeborough took them a while to settle into the game, and they came back with a couple of good scores and sort of snuffed out the Derrylin attack by closing up the centre, which Derrylin had exposed in the first opening 8-10 minutes. So Brookeborough's come into it well, but overall Derrylin probably be the happier. They're playing the better football, they're getting a lot more possession, they're more economical going forward.
And with that, folks, we'll take a break with the scoreline. As we said, 6 points Derrylin, 4 points Brookeborough. And you're welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Louis Leonard Memorial Park for this Peter Carty Junior Football Championship first round match between Derrylin and Brookeborough. Half-time score: Derrylin 6 points, Brookeborough 4 points. So nip and tuck really in the first half. And Ramy Johnson joining me for co-commentary here. We still don't have much of a breeze, Ramy, so conditions are still ideal. Hopefully it keeps up for the rest of the games.
Yeah, hopefully. I think it is going to be good conditions. It's going to be good condition for the rest of this game, but the other championship games today, I think there's not going to be much change in the weather. So some interesting tussles and that later on today.
Yeah, we've done well. How bad it has been weather-wise for even you consider last weekend or during the week anyway. How bad it has been. How the pitches are looking. Like the pitch is looking very good here in Brookeborough.
Yeah, there was a lot of rain on that, particularly early on the week, and I suppose we were blessed. We got a bit of dry spell towards the end of the week, which maybe allowed pitches to dry up a wee bit. But they haven't been doing too bad. No, we haven't had much of a summer now in terms of weather-wise.
Yeah. Referee Carl Bradshaw about to throw the ball up here. So teams have moved around. Brookeborough are going to be attacking they're going to be attacking the team to our right. They'll be defending the clubhouse goals and attacking those ones up there. So Derrylin attacking the clubhouse goals in this second half. And here we go. Carl Bradshaw about to go, just doing his checks. The umpires are they're not in a rush to get to the goalposts anyway, but there they are. They've just made it now, and that's the ball thrown in. Owen Maguire's been dispossessed, and that is Paddy Woods trying to kick that ball forward. There we go. Adam Brown. We talked a lot about Adam Brown in the first half, so he has stuck out and he's bearing down on goal here, taking a shot. That was well saved by goalkeeper Owen Murphy. But Adam Brown backed himself there. Ramy found a gap, went through it. His shot probably it was at the right height for the goalkeeper.
It was. He won a good possession there, and then seen the opportunity, took the man on, went by two defenders. If the shot had been a bit low, he would have maybe had to make Owen work that wee bit harder, but it was a good save.
Good chance here, maybe a goal chance on the other end. That's full forward Fergal McGoffin with that. On the left foot gets that over the bar. So plenty of action at the second half's only 48 seconds old. Scoreline now reads 7 points to Derrylin, 4 points to Brookeborough. It'll be interesting at the end of the game to just contrast that 45 seconds. Brookeborough had a goal chance saved into the goalkeeper's hands, and that got allowed Derrylin a chance to break up the field. It was Fergal McGovern. You could fair to say he had a goal chance, but the angle was tight, took us point. So it's kind of, you could even see a 4-point swing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. 4-point turnaround. It could have been Brookeborough a point up, but the 3 down. But if we can tag on another score here,
just 3's become 2 very quickly. Ramy after James Toy got involved there. That's another point for James Toy. Right foot over the bar. 7 points to 5 with a minute and a half played. So business has picked up from half time, Ramy.
It has. Obviously pep talks came from the management at half time, and both teams have provided a bit more excitement in the first 90 seconds of the second half.
Well, the game's there to be run for both teams, there's no doubt about it, because we did say it's nip and tuck and both of them are very even. That's a high ball in there. Dermot Toy stops Conal McMahon's from getting the mark, but Derrylin's on the move. It's James Boyle here turning back for support. He's looking for Danny Leonard, now here to Jake Smith, who come on early. I think he's replacing Barry Murray. James Dolan there trying to get that ball away. Brookeborough management calling for they call for overcarry. Referee Carl Bradshaw says play away, and that's what Louis Leonard does. He finds Luke Flanagan inside the 45-metre line, steadies himself on the right foot, gives that plenty of air. It's going in there, but it's gone wide. It's gone wide, so that was an opportunity for Luke Flanagan, unable to convert it, and it's going to be a kick out now for Brookeborough goalkeeper Joe Corcoran. That attack, Ramy, the execution again is probably one of the things that Derrylin would have to work on for their next game.
It was a poor execution. They done well. They went down into one corner, walked back into the scoring opportunity in the far side, but it was just a poor strike in the end for Derrylin.
That's Rory Green in there winning the ball. He gives it back to Adam Brown, Adam Brown's going to take a shot himself on the right foot. That's going in, but it's going to go wide. So Adam Brown's We talked about him in the first half. He won a good clean possession there, went for his goal opportunity, so he's got a bit of confidence back around him again, because he does seem to be one of Brookeborough's main outlets.
He has been one of Brookeborough's main outlets. He's obviously started the second half well. He's got a couple of possessions. He's had 2 opportunities, but has failed to execute both of them. But if he got a point on the board, settle himself down, then he could maybe push on and have a good second half for the Brookeborough.
Cahalmone turning inside here now. He gives it to Damien Corn, looking for support. Aidan Boyle's a good outlet in the left foot, 45 metres out, screws that ball in, and that ball's gone over the bar. That's a great point from Aidan Boyle there. Really 1 point between the teams.
Yeah, it was the dirty ball around the middle of the park here. They won the breaking ball and fed Aidan Boyle. Just outside the D area. It was a nice strike off the outside of his boot to bring it to a 1 point game.
We have got a player down here, and that's Oisin Howell. He seems to have a back injury. Probably was a collision after that kick out there. So Oisin Howell's going to need a bit of a treatment here. A back injury like that there's not much more they can do than give him a bit of spray to try and kill the pain.
No, I don't know whether it was the collision from when the 2 of them jumped, or whether it was the way he landed on the ground. But the back is something that you have to sort of look after. He's back up and moving now, so
kick out. Goalkeeper Owen Murphy going to that far side of the field. It's a 2v2 in there, and Adam Brown has picked that ball up, running the breaking ball now. It's into James Ty with Brown giving an outlet run. He's soloing, trying to get away from Danny Leonard, who's doing well. It's under a lot of pressure. Referee Carl Bradshaw says it's going to be a free in, and James Ty has won that a free in. It's a scoreable opportunity, especially with Aidan Boyle, someone who is accurate enough from frees. He kicked a great point there a minute ago. We're going to take this from the right foot. It's not hard to measure the distance, 45 metres out, but he takes it short. Gives it here now to the wing half back, who is Sean Ray. That has dropped short now, and it's been picked up by Owen Maguire, the midfielder. That was a big fist pass, but it's come over here to the sideline, and Louis Leonard has that back to the midfielder. Derrylin playing a lot of ball in there in their own defence, but they've got a chance at starting to spread over there. They've 2, 4, 5 players, and they're able to move on a wave on that far side of the field. Carried forward here now. No one immediately from Brookeborough come to tackle the Derrylin man. That's James Dolan with a good punt pass in front of Fergal McGovern. Spins away from the tackle, tries to get a shot away. It goes short, and goalkeeper Joe Corcoran has this here now, and he's starting to move out, trying to use good disposal of possession. He gives it to Cahalmone, who's tackled, breaking through 3 tackles. He goes through that there now. He gives it to James Ty with Damien Corn giving an outlet. Ty with a good ball into corner forward, who is Rory Green. Green wasn't able to take it the first time. He seems to have been nudged off that ball there, and referee Carl Bradshaw says get up. Rory Green looking for the free there. Bradshaw wasn't going to give him one.
No, I think he was looking for a soft free there. He wasn't able to secure possession first time. Maybe he was feeling disappointed with himself, and he was looking for maybe an easy option out.
Plays goes on ahead here now. It's Conal McMahon's here, who is on the 45 metre line. He's got Oisin Howell coming to tackle him, has James Dolan there as well. 3 Derrylin players on the 45 metre line. They're going to have to start moving forward here. That's James Boyle, gives it over now to I think that's Donald McAvenue, the wing half forward. Now it's back here to Conal McMahon. Looks to turn back on the right foot, throws that ball up, but it's going to go wide. So Derrylin have had a couple of chances, but they're not able to convert.
No, they've had the last couple of attacks by Derrylin. The previous one dropped short, and that one obviously went wide. It's been pure execution in the shot by the Derrylin forward. Pure kick out now.
Kick out from Joe Corcoran. That's going in there. That's a chance that was ball in between goalkeeper Joe Corcoran and Fergal McGovern, but Corcoran wins that. Now he's giving it to his players. That's James McQuaid over there, who's won that ball, and now it's punted forward into Aidan Boyle, who's knocked off his chest, and it's McQuaid who's back here again now. He's got 2 players around him, can't get the ball away. Referee Carl Bradshaw says you took too long with it, and it's going to be a free in for Derrylin. Scoreline reads 7 points to 6. 8 minutes played in the second half, Ramey, and the game was in the melting pot at half time, and not much has changed.
No, still it was a couple of points in at half time, and both teams have just decided to really go for it in the second half. In the opening period, attack was more more ambition in that and driving through. But the scoring efficiency now, just for both sides, just isn't good.
Yeah. Oisin Howell with the ball here now, and now it's been given to Conor Goodwin, who's breaking forward. He had a run, holds onto it, back to Howell. He has a free man in there. That's Galmone's chance to give it to Damien Curran, taking the chance. That was well blocked down there. It's come to Sean Ray, who has Rory Green in there, trying to give it back to Curran. Gives it back to I think Sean was knocked off the ball there. He was hit late, coming back to his feet slowly. Rory Green gives it to Oisin Howell, who's going there. Aidan Boyle, and he has got Cathal Moan as well, but Boyle gives it now to Rory Green. Green gives it back to Howell. There's two players for Adam Brown's trying to give an option over there, but Howell turns back inside. The momentum has come out of the Brookeborough attack, so they're going to have to be patient here.
They're going to have to be patient. Derrylin have got numbers back, sort of the attack has slowed. They're going to have to show a bit more patience and drive in through the gap like James Tye is doing.
Gives it to Aidan Boyle, back to Rory Green. A couple of the Brookeborough players, just as soon as they get the ball, their initial reaction is to bounce it.
Yes.
It doesn't take that long to bounce the ball, but it's amazing how it reduces your momentum. That's a shot from Cathal Moan, fine strike. It's going to land in and around the goal area between goalkeeper Owen Murphy and fullback. They're able to get that ball moved away. It was a fine strike, really, just ever so lacking on the distance, because that was deserving of a score. But Brookeborough now are on the move here. That's their wing half-back Michael Rice, who's going forward. Fist pass, he's won it back himself again, going to ground. Referee Carol Bradshaw says play away. He's trying to pick it up, and he's successful in getting the pass away, but unfortunately it only went to a Derrylin man who was beside him. And now we have got Fergal McGovern, who's breaking forward. He's herring in there, and he's been chased by James McQuaid too. Derry gone to play for him, got a chance into the goal area. That's Jake Smith going to ground. He's got it away. There's no chance. Danny Leonard in there. The first Joe Corcoran done ever so well to save the initial shot, but Brookeborough couldn't get it away, and Danny Leonard following that up off the ground, soccer style, into the net. That's a killer kind of a blow for Brookeborough, unless they can get up the field, Remy, and make get a score back.
Yes, Brookeborough had started that first period very, very well. Obviously they ran into trouble, got turned over in the middle of the field, and Derrylin just showed a bit pace and a bit more penetration going forward. It was a great save by Joe Cochran, but Derrylin players took the gamble, followed it up, and got the reward by the goal.
Just even looking at the body language of some of the Brookeborough lads, as soon as that went in, you could see, you'd swear they had run a marathon there. You could just see a lot of the heads went into their hands went under the heads. Like, I'm not saying that the game's over, there's still 20 minutes left, but it's a killer kind of a blow, so it is. And we just talk about momentum in these games. Brookeborough, the best way to respond to this here is get up the field and get a score. It takes it down to 3 points, and that's still manageable. That's a manageable. If Derrylin were to tack on another couple of scores, it could very easily get away from Brookeborough.
It could. It's key now for Brookeborough to secure possession here. Try maybe get another couple of scores just before the water break, and then just regroup there. The management have a word or two just to regroup, and then come out and just give it their all in the last 15 minutes.
I think that was Cathal Moan who was getting a bit of attention. He's back to his feet now, and that's a great kick out to Paddy Woods in midfield. Releases James Tye. Brookeborough's on the march here now. It's Oisin Howell going to steady himself on the right foot, and that's kind of screwed off his foot. Really, they certainly secured possession from the kick out, and that was a promising attack. Execution ever so slightly went off, but if they can put pressure on the Derrylin kick out, keeps them in the game.
It does. I think what Brookeborough needs to do is to try and get their shooters and that their scoring forwards on the ball. It seems to be a case of players in that area to see sort of half an opportunity. They're taking a shot at goal, where if they were more economic in getting the players, the more accurate players on the ball taking the shot, then there'll be more fruition out of that.
Adam Brown here now with the ball. He's moving inside the 45-metre line, tackled strongly, tackled unfairly, says referee Carl Bradshaw. That's a free in for Brookeborough. It's going to be 5 metres, I would think, outside the 45 metre line, and it's Donald McAvin, USC. He's hurt himself in that challenge more so than anything else, so goalkeeper Joe Corcoran is coming up to take this kick, I see. So Joe's going to take this. It's about 4 or 5 metres outside the 45 metre line, more than likely going to take it off the ground, I would think, Raymond.
Yes, Joe has shown in his kick outs that he definitely has the distance, so if he gets it accurate here, I'm sure this could be a score for Brookeborough.
Not a breath of wind here in Louis Leonard Memorial Park in Donan for the Peter Carty Junior Football Championship game. That kick from Joe Corcoran. Well, you know, Raby, he was at 5 yards to spare on that.
That was sweetly struck. He made a good connection with it, and it sailed over the crossbar there. If he had to be maybe even another 5-10 yards back, I'd say it still would have went over.
Yeah, we'll have the scoreline on our screen is 1-7 to 7 points, and that's right enough because it's that they've changed the scoreline in the stadium was wrong, or the scoreline here in Memorial was wrong, but they got that onto the wrong team. Now it's sorted out. 1-7 plays 7 points. A goal between the teams. Derrylin leading with that goal that was scored by James Boyle, I think, earlier on in that in the second half. 14 minutes played, so we're soon going to have our water break. That's full forward Connor Goodwin giving it over there to Adam Brown. Got his hands on a lot of ball here, so he has. He's probably someone who's playing his first couple of championship games, so do him the world of good, really, because he's seen some good, some bad, and some indifferent.
Yes, he seems to be a player that has a lot of ability, but obviously confidence, like any player. Can determine just how well you play on the day, and he's grown into the game. You know, he had a shaky enough start, had a good start to the second half, but he's penetrated, he's got his hands on the ball, and as a result, Brookeborough for free in, bringing him in two.
And indeed that Derrylin goal was scored by Daniel Leonard after the shot. So from the resultant free that's kicked over the bar, scoreline now reads 1-7 to 8 points, 2 points between the teams. Ever since they conceded that goal, it's now the water break, just with 15 minutes directly played, really. Ever since that goal, Brookeborough have done well. They've got 2 points, brought them right back into this game, and you could nearly say they've negated the damage that was done after that ball went into the net.
Yes, they've responded well to the goal that Derrylin got there just a few minutes before the water break. The key now would be for Brookeborough to come out after the water break, get their hands on the ball early, again penetrate the way they've been doing, going at the Derrylin defence, creating them chances, creating the frees, throwing the fouls, and obviously tagging on a few more scores.
And indeed, from a Derrylin perspective, you would say after the goal they have struggled to get their hands on the ball ever since and get attacks to try and widen out the distance, the gap between the two teams.
They seem to have eased off just that wee bit more. Brookeborough has been secure in possession around the middle of the field from kick-outs and that, and obviously the score that Joe Corcoran got was a great score. It was a great booster, and then Brookeborough just tagged on another one through a free and that. So if they can be a bit more economical, as I said earlier, getting the shooters on the board, the right men taking the shots, then they can push this game in the last 15 minutes. There's only 2 points in it, and it's all to play for.
Even you just look at the body language of the teams going out. Brookeborough's going out with a kind of a pep in their step, whereas Derrylin are a bit slower maybe to come out. Now, and in fairness, one thing I will say, it's a Derrylin kick out, so Brookeborough have to get back out quick. We've seen that happen in some of the other places where it's very important when it's the possession belongs to the other team that you get back to your position quick.
But you mentioned about them coming back out from the water break. Even just going into the water break, there was more there's a greater enthusiasm by the Brookeborough players.
Fitness is going to be tested in this third and final quarter. 1-7 to 8 points, 2 points between the teams. That's midfielder Owen Maguire moving forward. He's found Barry Murray, who seems to have come on now. That's a nice pass into number 17 Jake Smith. Something that I've noticed is referees blow a mark a bit earlier. They kind of have to wait for a mark to be called. They're kind of blowing one in anticipation, Remy.
They nearly, before the possession is secured, they're nearly blowing the whistle to indicate the mark when it hasn't actually happened.
Damien Corn with a chance here now. That's the substitutes come on for Brookeborough. That is number 21, who is Aaron Foy. And Aaron Foy announces his arrival with a mighty score off the right foot straight over the bar. So Aaron Fry has come on. I've seen the Brookeborough lads actually doing the paperwork for that substitute, but I didn't see it coming off. I think it might be number 15, Rory Green, who has come off. So Aaron Fry, it's substitutes coming off the bench. You always need them to to bring something to your game.
You need the subs to give a bit of impetus and a bit of injection of energy in the game. And obviously Aaron's come on. He wants to make a shout for a starting slot the next day, and he's done that with that point.
Break ball won't be Derrylin here now, and they're moving forward. That's Donald McAvinue trying to get the challenge of Adam Brown. The strength of McAvinue made a difference there. Ramey tries to flick that ball away, but that's intercepted, and Brookeborough's on the move now. Suddenly there's 4 of them going in a wave. That's Aidan Boyle to James Try. Poor pass, but that's been picked up by Conor Goodwin, and Cahill-Moan now is moving forward. Good chance for Brookeborough to get back into this here. He slows back, he turns round. Goodwin looks, he was going to take that on the right foot, breaks through the challenge. Is he going to have a chance to take a shot? Has time to steady himself. It's going to drop short, and goalkeeper Owen Maguire just sees that ball out over the line. So the scoreline still reads Derrylin 1-7, Brookeborough 9 points, 1 point between the teams. On the clock we have 18, approaching 19 minutes played. That probably includes the stop for the water break, so there's definitely going to be some added time at the end of that there. Referee Carol Bradshaw is blowing for Owen Maguire to take his kick out. He's going to go long. Battle in there. That was well measured, and that was Luke Flanagan who caught that going sort of running backwards, and now he's letting Derrylin on the attack. Goal scorer Daniel Leonard herring inside here now. He has a player inside, but he was being met by number 5 Michael Rice, and Michael Rice uses his body well because he knocked Daniel Leonard off it, as well as getting the possession back, and now it's been turned over. Brookeborough's on the move here now. Patrick Woods gives it to Cahill-Moan. Moan ships the challenge. He's looking for support. He turns back. It's Oisin Howell with a lot of Brookeborough players in support. There's Aidan Boyle. James McQuaid's over there as well, and Dermot Tye going back to resume his duties in the full back line. Here's Cahill-Moan again with James McQuaid and Sean and Damien Corn gives it to, now it's to Oisin Howell moving forward. That was Aaron Foy, I think, who was making a run on that corner, going towards the corner, but they didn't give it to him. He has to check back. Now it's Conor Goodwin with Aidan Boyle. Bit of a mix-up in there, and Goodwin goes to ground, but the ball's been picked up by Cahill-Moan, who is tackled strongly by Derrylin players, and that ball was knocked back. Number 24 for Derrylin is Joseph Lunny, and Joseph Lunny he's just come onto the field. Ramey panicked a wee bit because he picked that ball straight up off the ground. Yeah, it was a free in. It
was a very measured build up by Brookeborough. They were slow, they were patient, they worked it out of the defence, they got it up to that area, ran into a bit of trouble, but as you said, the substitute just touched it on the ground. He obviously needs to get a touch or two more just to get the confidence levels up.
So here we go, Joe Corcoran right in front of the stand. This will be a great one. The camera's just zoomed in on him, so we'll see can Joe get this one over the bar. 1-7 to 9 points, 1 point between the teams in the 45 metre line. This is about midway between the midfield. That's a good looking strike. That's a great looking strike.
That's a great score by Joe.
Strike a ball,
and he can good dead ball expert. It was sailed straight over the black spot, as they say. And it's giving Brookeborough a real confidence lifter now. So it'll be interesting to see now in this last few minutes who can actually grab the game by the scruff of the neck and push on to win.
Well, in this second half, it's Brookeborough who've played most of the ball. Derrylin have been helped certainly by that goal. Need to get a bit of possession now in and around midfield. That's a ball over there. Louis Leonard picks that up. Derrylin's always dangerous on the attack. That bouncing balls into Fergal McGovern, who has caused Brookeborough a lot of problems in there between Fergal McGovern and Conal McMahon's. Those two, they seem to be playing a 2-man inside forward line, and those have certainly given Brookeborough headaches.
The two guys inside, there's plenty of pace about them. They have give the Brookeborough defence something to think about. But again, Brookeborough put more pressure on the ball out the field and making them make poor passes in.
And the crowd starting to liven up here now. That's a free for Brookeborough. It is Owen Maguire who's adjudged to a foul. Adam Brown. Maguire's very strong. It's hard. I don't know, was it a free? It kind of was a coming together, and Owen Maguire's strength kind of was a bit of a factor in that.
I think if he had caught Adam a wee bit lower, it was up sort of towards the neck region. I think maybe that's why Carl blew the free.
James Ty getting around Owen Maguire there, fists the ball, ships a late challenge. He's down after that there, but he's back up again. Now it's Cahill Moan over there, gives it to Aidan Boyle, going to want that in the left foot. Adam Brown tries to flick the pass over, and that's been dispossessed. Daniel Leonard, the goal scorer, had a very good game. Adam Brown and Daniel Leonard have had a tussle from minute one in this game, Remy.
They have. It's been an interesting battle to watch throughout the game. Both have had good spells. Both of them had indifferent spells with wrong decisions and that. But it's been an interesting battle to watch.
Real championship fair in that there, Amy. So it was. That was a shot from number 11, Rudy McGoldrick, that's gone wide. And that referee, Carol Bradshaw, blows the whistle for the water break. So here. No, it's not a water break, beg your pardon. They couldn't find a ball. They've got a ball now, so it'll be kicked back out again. Just there was a lot of them taking water in that there, and I thought but you couldn't blame them. Both teams have put a lot of effort into that here. So 7 minutes still to go, maybe 10 when you include the additional time. These are 10 hard minutes. This is
championship football now. You know, the game's in the mountain pot. Who's going to really want to show that wee bit of extra composure in that now this last 10 to actually go on and win the game.
A score either way makes a big difference here now. That's well done by James Boyle, picking that up. The four midfielders went in strong there, and it was picked up by young Boyle. Now it's over there to Louis Leonard on the far side of the field, flicks the ball forward to his colleague, who's Conor McMahon's. McMahon's under pressure, spins away, and it's back to Danny Leonard here now. He's got Donald McAvenue making a move forward, but he kicks it in there to Jake Smith, who has gone to ground. Referee Carol Bradshaw blows his whistle. I think he's blowing his whistle because Smith's on the ground and going to need a bit of treatment. I would imagine it's going to be a Brookeborough ball, judging by who held the ball last. But sure, we'll see in a minute what's happening. At this stage, Remy, with 5 minutes to go, the structure of the two teams has kind of broken down a wee bit. As players get tired, it's harder to keep your shape, so gaps are going to open up.
Yeah, the game has definitely opened up now in this last sort of 5-6 minutes. As you said, players are starting the energy levels are going down, and it's just a case of who's just got that wee bit extra in the legs, that wee extra levels of fitness and that. But it will come down to making the right decision now on the ball. You know, players get tired, they can make sloppy handling errors or sloppy passes, but it's about, you know, that wee bit of composure in the right sector of the field that will determine the outcome of the game.
The crowd's not going anywhere, Amy. We have a good vocal support in here, and they have been cheering their teams on well. I suppose they're very lucky to get tickets with the reduced numbers of people who can go to the games. That's why we're very glad to be able to bring you these games on Fermanagh TV, and I know that we're going to have people watching this from all over the world, because there's members of there's people connected to the Derrylin and the Brookeborough clubs that are going to be spread in every country under the sun, so you are very welcome to be joining us in this game. And we hope that our season pass viewers are going to be continuing on, because right after this game we're going to be going straight to Brewster Park, where Pádraig McGowan will bring you the second game, which is between Adramsea and Devon. It's the final intermediate championship. Then we're back to Kinole at 4 o'clock, Tempo Timor, before the whole weekend finishes up at 7 o'clock in Enniskillen as Derry Gonley play Rosslea, and after that it's going to be the draws for the intermediate and senior semi-finals and relegation playoffs. So a lot to be done between now and 9 o'clock. On we go, and it's Derrylin on the attack. That's come to full forward. Fergal McGovern, who spins away out of that there now. Barry Murray's come on and is kicked over here to number 12, James Boyle. He's had a good game. Boyle looking to give it over to a support colleague over there. That's Jake Smith. Jake Smith gives it to it's over there, I think it's number 24. That's Joseph Lunny. Lunny's under pressure, his toe pokes the ball away, and it's over there to number 13, Barry Murray. Just a little bit short on it. If he'd had another half a week of picks this morning, he might have got that over the bar, but it goes on anyway. There was Joe Corcoran catches that and lets Brookeborough away on the attack, and it's their full forward Conor Goodwin, who's come a long way back. He's looking for an outlet. He hasn't got much. He's given it to Aidan Boyle. Boyle going hard for it. It slips through his legs. He picks it up. He's trying to get away from the challenges. Gives it back to Goodwin, and Damien Corn's in there as well. Now Sean Ray is up there. He has a chance on the right foot. Gives that Benny a hit, and it's over the bar. You only have to look at the Brookeborough management in here. They're jumping like
That was great.
Young fellas.
Great excitement on the management team with that score from Sean Ray. He's taken a couple of shots throughout the game and hasn't executed them, but this is one that really mattered and it came at the right time for them.
27 and a half minutes played, and now Brookeborough's on the march their way here. They've won that ball, and it's Aidan Boyle over there. He's got James Toy and Oisin Howells moving forward. Derrylin are struggling here. They need to get a breath, they need to get the ball anyway to get up and get it and equalise and score. Danny Leonard's fighting hard. He's fought hard the whole game. James Toy back to Adam Brown. Now Brown, I think Adam Brown's injured. He seems to be struggling there.
I don't know whether it's an ankle injury or whether it's the hamstring. He has to stop moving freely now.
He needs a bit of a stretch. James Toy kicking that ball. It comes to flex lands to Oisin Howell. It's come over now to Damien Corn and back to Adam Brown. He's got his hand in the sight of ball this game. Damien Corn again gives it to Aidan Boyle. Boyle was under shocking pressure. Referee Carl Bradshaw says play away. That was a Derrylin defender who picked that ball up under pressure, and Adam Brown's gone on top of him. I think there's going to be a substitute here. Number 19 John Boyle was looking to go on to replace Adam Brown, but the paperwork doesn't seem to be through, so that's the linesman Ollie McShea who's telling him to come back off and wait until the procedures is done correctly. So there we go. This is a chance now, and John Boyle's going on to the field, and he's replacing. He seems to be replacing. He's replacing Adam Brown, and they're making a couple of positional changes. So that's what's happening.
They've moved John Boyle full out the field. Donald Boyle's on now for Adam. Adam probably picked up a bit of cramps.
That's correct. Yeah, number 19 Donald Boyle's going on to the field. Away they go again, and it's Derrylin on the attack. It's over there. It's with Barry Murray. Gives that height. Is it going to get over the bar? I don't think it is. It has gone wide. So Derrylin are still, they're 1 point behind here, approaching 29 and a half minutes played in the second half. Kick out for Brookeborough from goalkeeper Joe Corcoran. What's happening here? With a player down, it's Liam Ray, player down. So indeed, and it's not. I think it's actually Sean Ray who was down there, but he's back up again, back up to live another day, and he's away there to fight. So
Brookeborough will be looking to slow the game down at every opportunity now. Maybe Sean was saying he didn't get any joy.
No, he didn't get any joy, but he's up again and ready to go, and that's over there. That's Danny Leonard fighting hard as he has done for most of the game. Louis Leonard now moving forward, great speed, great running. It's an angled ball coming in here, a bit of a pace race on, and that's number 17 Jake Smith gets inside. It's a chance here, Donald McAvenue. The missed pass hasn't gone to hand, and Damien Corn got in there because there was definitely a chance on there. That was Damien Corn, and now I think that's Connor Howell who's wearing 21 moving forward. Got a good score. That was full back from Derrylin, Declan Curry, who looked to put pressure on that there. Derrylin have the ball, and now they're on the move here. They're moving forward. The red wall's starting to recede. Brookeborough they're going back into they have to push out here, but Derrylin's going in hard. Now it's Danny Leonard, flicks the ball over there to full forward, breaks through the first challenge. He's under pressure, gets his kick away, and referee Carl Bradshaw was playing advantage, and he pulls it back. It's going to be a free for Derrylin on the 21 metre line. Gives a chance for Derrylin to get back into this game. It's helter skelter in the last couple of minutes, Raymond.
Yes, both teams are attacking. Derrylin had a chance. Don McAvenue seen the opportunity and he heard the call. He didn't look and stayed into a Brookeborough man's hands. He got numbers back. Then Brookeborough got turned over, coming up along the stand side. Wrong decision by John carrying into the tackle. He got turned over, and as a result of the attack then by Derrylin, they've got a free and to equalise.
I would think the smart money for the rest of this game, it could be a draw, because that's going to go.
Opportunity missed,
and to the Brookeborough support, they're cheering that one anyway. Derrylin need to get this ball. 32 minutes played. It's going to be a kick out for Joe Corcoran. How much time's left? Referee Carl Bradshaw blows his whistle. Says for Joe Corcoran to get a move on. That's going out to the far side of the field, and Derrylin look like they're going to win it. They have to get up the field and get a score. That's their wing half forward who's Luke Flanagan, and Luke Flanagan's moving forward, turns back inside looking for a shooter. It's going to the midfielder, that's blocked. It's going to come down, it's been won by number 5, Michael Race, and Race is trying to walk out here. He's going through challenges, flicks the ball away. Paddy, that's Cahill Moan, and now it's over there into the hands of number 7, James McQuaid. It's come now to that, I think that was Aidan Boylan, back to Paddy, back to Cahill Moan indeed, and it's over there now. It's James McQuaid is moving on that far side of the field. He's going for it. Derrylin need the ball back badly. There was a hand in there to try and win possession, but Brookeborough are retaining it. Referee Carol Bradshaw, he's blown for a free. I think it's for a foul on Brookeborough. I think it's a foul on the Brookeborough, so Brookeborough's going to have a free.
It was a high challenge just on James McQuaid there, but that goal came from a great diving block by Damien Corn. Just this last couple of minutes, Brookeborough boys are really wanting to see out the game, and they're just putting their bodies on the line, and Damien made an excellent block, and as a result they attacked up the field. Now it's a chance to go 2 ahead if Joe can execute the same technique in that they did for his previous 2 strikes.
Yeah, well, he's looking for his 3rd point of this game. He's hit 1 in the middle of the 45 metre line, 1 to this right hand side now, 1 to the left, so he's a couple of metres inside the 45 metre line. The crowd's go, you'd swear we were in Thomond Park. It's going to be like a rugby kick. Joe Corcoran with he gets a good connection there, but it's gone wide. So there we go, the scoreline remains 1-7 till 11 points. Check at the clock, 33, approaching 34 minutes played. That does include the water break, so maybe only a minute or 2 of added time has been played, so there could still be another attack here now. It's going out long from goalkeeper Owen Maguire. Donald McAvinue breaks that down. It's James Wild, kicks it over to, the ball's gone away, and the Derrylin have it back. They have it back, they're going forward here now. It's Danny Leonard who got the goal. He's got the chance, steadies himself on the right foot. That ball's going in. That was a marvellous score, really. Danny Leonard, that was out of the top drawer.
Danny showed composure there under extreme pressure. The way the game is that it was a point, it needed to equalise. A bit of an error by James McQuaid. He had a chance to pick it up, didn't secure possession. As a result, Danny got the score.
1-8, plays 11 points. That's a draw. Referee Carol Bradshaw checking his watch. 34 approaching 35. There's another chance here now. That's well held, and Damien Curran's on the march. A high ball in there to Donald Boyle. It's going to go, but goal full back. Declan Curry comes out, fists that ball away now. Brookeborough have it back. That's a right-footed shot, and it was, I think that was James tried to tip that ball. He knew that goalkeeper Owen Murphy was coming out on him, and it was smart enough from James Try if he was right far out, but if he could have got a good connection to it.
It's probably one of the best moves of the game, where the kick out came. Aidan Boyle won. He laid off the sport. It was a quick early ball in. The ball was played back out. It was a shot taken by Conor Goodwin, and the ball was tried to flick it. It just went wide.
And referee Carol Bradshaw blows the final whistle, and that finishes our game 1-8 to 11 points. It's a draw. So from Louis Leonard Memorial Park, Remy, thanks very much for your input and analysis. We're going to leave it at that, folks, and we'll see you again in Enniskillen at 1:30.